You know, one of the things we ask every kid that comes to our program is, if you do come into our family, what type of intangible would you bring to us? And the answers are sometimes just mind-blowing and just really, really good answers. But after Sunday's win, my main takeaway was that team has grit. Our team has grit. Montana is very resilient. She's very competitive. And those are intangibles, really, that they only come out in those types of situations. And it was so fun to watch them compete. You know, the first inning was very nerve-wracking. Obviously, they had bases loaded and no outs. It's not the way we planned it. But Montana battled and battled and battled, and the defense did their job. You know, we scored with a hit-by-pitch and a pass ball wild pitch on a first and third play. And sometimes, you know, you're going to win 2-0 like that. Sometimes it's going to be 8-7. Sometimes it's going to be 9-1, whatever it might be. But you have to learn how to win all those types of games. And I thought Sunday was just a great example of a team showing a lot of grit by our kids.
All right, if you have a question for Coach Murphy, hit the raise hand button and we'll call on you one by one, and we'll start with Robert.
Hey, Coach. So something you've said in the past before is that Rhodes Stadium is what Kelly Cretchen built, and now Bailey Hempel's only one home run away from tying her. How awesome is that? For after 2 decades, one player has gotten so close.
Well, it's really cool, and I'm that brought back a lot of good memories. I was actually in New York City at Yankee Stadium a long time ago, like 97, 98 maybe. And there was a postcard in the gift shop at Yankee Stadium, and it was obviously a picture of Yankee Stadium. On the other side of it, you know, they always have that little caption about what the postcard's about, and it says, "The house that Ruth built." That's all it said. So I bought it, and I mailed it to Kelly, and I erased that, and I put Rhodes' house, and I put the house that Kelly built. And, you know, it was basically true at the time after her 4-year career and all her home runs, and now maybe we need to rename it the house that Bailey built. I don't know. But she's just had a hell of a career. You know, I was talking last night on Hey Coach about her numbers, her walks, her RBIs, her home runs, her extra base hits. And she's just really matured, and not only as a kid, but as a hitter. Because, you know, like every time she got up at Arkansas, the whole crowd would just go nuts. Their defense, you could tell, was locked in. Their pitcher, she added a gear to her game. And for a young lady to have to deal with that basically for the last 3 years of her career, it's saying something about her her ability to compete in the box, because you can just feel it. When she gets up, it's a totally different game. And some hitters, it's like that. It was like that with Kretschmann. It was like that with Haley McClenny. You know, it's just they want to get her out. And for her to do all the things that she's done, despite all the competition and the pitchers wanting to get her out, is amazing.
All right, go ahead, Brett.
Hey, Coach, you spoke on it in the opening statement. Congrats on the big series win. And this next coming weekend is going to be even bigger of a challenge. You spoke on how big of a grind out victories those two were last weekend. How do you keep your team focused to come into this weekend, especially you're hosting a top 5 team with a pitcher in Elizabeth Hightower who's got 1.40 ERA. She got 14 wins. They can run around the bases. They got 40 stolen bases on the year, I think. How do you keep them focused after the big series win?
Well, we had a pretty good practice yesterday, but tonight we're hoping to get to play against Alabama State. I'm not sure. I'm going to make a decision here in a little bit, so we're really, really hoping we get to play. Maybe the rain will miss us. But then, you know, this is a huge stretch for us as we go down through April and May. Obviously, Arkansas, top 8 team. Florida, top 5 team. We have Louisiana next week, you know, top 10 team. Georgia, Ole Miss. It's a huge end of the year for us, and we can't look ahead of anybody, really. You just can't afford it right now. And everybody's good in the SEC this year. I think, you know, I say it every year, but it is probably the most balanced it's ever been. this year, you can't take a day off or you're going to get your butt beat. So, and obviously with Florida, it's the same way. And they're going to play hard. They're going to play the right way. So are we. And it's been, quite the rivalry the last 10 to 15 years. I think I want to say the last 12 SEC champions are either Florida or Alabama. So obviously this series means a lot.
All right, go back to Robert.
Coach, to build off of that, Elizabeth Hightower, dominates with her screwball, throwing the rise ball, but she kind of reminds me of Sarah Cornell. So, first off, what goes into hitting a screwball pitcher and not yanking the ball foul and keeping it fair? And then, is it beneficial that you have someone like Cornell to, I guess, throw batting practice to players and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, it is. And we have 6 pitchers that we can kind of say. Obviously, they're all righties, but we try to match whoever we're pitching or whoever we're going to play with whoever pitches the most like them and our staff. So obviously Sarah's a great example. But hitting a screwball, sometimes it looks really good and then it cuts into a right-handed hitter. It cuts away from a lefty. So you have to decide very late if you're going to swing, because like you said, a lot of times teams will just yank it foul, and it's a strike for her. That's what she wants, right? That's what a pitcher wants. It's not a fair ball. You get a strike on it. So you really have to be kind of patient, let it travel, and then make a decision. Is it going to be a strike or a ball? Because a lot of times a really good screwball pitcher, they want to get it in on you and almost force you to make a decision like, oh my gosh, if I don't hit this, it might hit me. And a lot of times it's just a reaction of self-defense. We had a young lady named Shelley Laird, Kelsey Dunn. We had some really good ones, and it's a tough pitch to hit for sure.
All right, go back to Brett.
Hey, Coach, you speak on all the time, kind of the respect you have for opposing coaches, but Coach Tim Walton, he's been there since 2006. I did some research. You guys play each other 50 times since then. You're up 28-22 overall. And like you said, you guys have switched off the SEC regular season championships. You guys have the most conference. What kind of relationship do you have with Coach Tim Walton? Kind of shares maybe a story or something like that on him.
Well, I think the last time we went down to Florida, we had practice on a Thursday night, when we get in, and I'm looking at their outfield wall, and they have, their World Series appearances, their regionals, their super regionals, and then they have the SEC. And I looked at all the dates, and I was like, man, we were the champions, and I started to think about the years we won it and the years that they had won it, and there wasn't anybody else in there. And we played another year, and we were doing really well that year, and they weren't having that good of a year. And he said something like, you better win it, because I don't think it's going to be us this year, because, it's either us or you. And I think that was 19, when we went down there and swept them. But, he recruits good kids, good students. I try to do the same. It's a healthy rivalry. It's not a dirty rivalry, because you guys know the difference in that. I don't really like that opposite style of play where it's a dirty rivalry, but I know it's going to be a hard-fought game. We're going to play the right way, and they're not going to beat themselves. So that's a good compliment to them, is you're going to have to beat them.
All right, go back to Robert.
Coach, and for this big time series, I heard you say, or I saw on Twitter, that the capacity is going up this weekend. How exciting is that? And then, do you expect for next season for the stadium to be 100% full with fans?
Yeah, it's going to be 50%, and Beverly Chandler, our ticket office person, has just done a great job all year of navigating COVID and tickets. And I know there was a lot of disappointed people when we first started. It was only 25%, and we've had people in the same seats for 18 years, and some of them didn't get those, and it was very disappointing to our long-standing season ticket holders, because I had a couple messages too that said, why can't I sit in my seats? So there was so many rules and protocols we had to follow. And now that it's 50%, we had sold every seat. We didn't have any walk-up sales at all. Everybody took what they could, and they did some of them did a Wednesday, Friday. Some of them did, Tuesday, Saturday, and then some people just got Sunday seats. So it was a mad dash to the ticket office for some people. And now that we're at 50, I think she was anticipating right away that they were going to be gone. And I haven't talked to her this morning, but I think they went on sale at 8 a.m., and I would assume that they were gone. And I don't know if you guys saw this too, that, there was single tickets on sale on a website for $145 for this weekend. And that's softball, not football. So it's just absolutely crazy, the amount of people that want to watch us. And I do hope, Robert, that next year it is 100%. I know Mr. Byrne have talked about football and getting back to normal. So we hope that happens. And, we still have to do the right thing. And I hope, people are getting vaccinated. And that's the plan right now. I hope by then it's good to go.
All right, we'll wrap things up with Brett.
Hey, Coach, real quick, just up on the bidding process for regional and super regionals. Just any update on that? If you guys have submitted a bid or what?
Yep, we Lindsey Jones did all that. They were due on Monday, so we did bid for both rounds. And we had an ESPN site visit on Monday. All the ESPN crew came in, the SEC came in. Nathan was here, all of our facilities people. Lindsey Jones was there, our game day ops. There was about 20 to 25 people. Kate Harris, our ops. So we met out at Rhodes about 1:30 on Monday. And, we had done that same thing 2 years before, and then obviously we didn't get to play last year. So they're excited about coming for the SEC tournament. Everything looked good to them. And we were talking about the predetermined regional sites, and ESPN was excited about the first round because they could make plans just like we can make plans. Now, the super regional round is going to be just as tough as normal because, after the regional round, they will announce who hosts supers. So it could be a mad dash for some schools, and obviously people like ESPN and, all the background stuff that goes through it, because there could be a super regional that starts on Thursday night, and you could get done on Monday or Sunday night, and basically, Monday is your laundry day and get all your stuff ready to go, and then you take off on a Tuesday because Wednesday's your practice day. So it's a really quick turnaround, but I know that ESPN, the SEC network, everybody's really excited about postseason softball. The first thing Megan Ronowitz said when she arrived at the Rhodes House on Monday is, we are going to be here for the SEC tournament. And so the talent is coming. They're going to be in-house. And it was really exciting to hear because I think it's just going to be a great event. Hopefully, everything goes smooth, but we can't wait to host, all 12 other SEC softball schools.
All right, thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks a lot, you guys.